So my name is Brad Burton, and on the 13th and 14th of March, all roads lead to the Business Innovation Expo over at Excel in London. You know why? Because we've got the biggest roster of keynotes on the day in London. Take it from me, people. There's going to be 4 shows that are all alongside the Business Innovation Expo. And you have keynote speakers such as, Frank Bruno, that's right, former WBC British champion. You've got Billy Bingham, Who Dares Wins. And of course, we need to get some ladies on that roster. Boys and girls, we are joined right now with TV royalty, Apprentice royalty. The lady who actually stole the show, as far as I'm concerned, this year is Apprentice winner, Marnie Swindells. Marnie, how you doing, kiddo?
I am good, Brad. Thank you for having me.
Hey, listen, you are going to be speaking, keynoting on the day. Let me see my notes. Day 1, the 13th of March at 2 o'clock to 2:30, a 30-minute keynote where you're going to blow everyone's socks off. And not only that, you're also going to share some Apprentice secrets, but principally, box into boardroom. Tell us about your business, tell us about your apprentice journey, and tell us how you got to where you wanted to be.
Well, my first introduction to boxing was when I was 17 years old, and I walked into a boxing club for the first time. Actually, not far from your neck of the woods, Brad, near Manchester. Went in there. This was a time before women's boxing was even allowed in the Olympics. Yeah. So pre-2012, women's boxing was still a circus act. No one believed in it. No one understood it. Went in there, and I think I was driven to walk in by just a sense of like pent up aggression and anger, just from my own life, things that happened in the past, and just not really feeling like there was a real outlet. It wasn't that I was particularly sporty or athletic. There was just something about boxing that I gravitated towards. So I walked through the doors, was met with a very icy reception, had to do a lot to prove myself, went on to compete. I competed at quite a high level. I tried for the GB squad for the Rio Olympics, didn't make the final cut, but I was mixing it up with those guys at a time when Natasha Jonas was in the Olympics. We know she's doing really well now. And then was in it for a while. But like I said, women's boxing was still just finding its feet. And I didn't have the patience to wait around. So I moved from that towards coaching. From coaching, I then looked
at boxing coaching.
Yeah, boxing coaching. Right. From there, I looked to do events, went into that for a little while. And then Boris came along and ruined that for me.
I know that one all too well. Yeah,
I know. So then after that, I said, you know what? I want something tangible. I want bricks and mortar. I want an asset. I want something that's mine and no one could take. So I set about finding a boxing gym. I found one in 2019. I raised just short of 400,000 my own before going on to the show. Then, as most people probably know me from, I went on the show and managed somehow to wrangle my way into being.
Let me tell you something. Partner. You didn't manage somehow, right? You managed through using your brain. And I think you know as well as I do, boxing's the same. It's a mindset. You know, I've seen gym boxers who are exceptional. As soon as those doors open at the MEN Arena, that's a different ball game, and nothing quite prepares you for that. And I think this is what you've done. Your boxing experience allowed you to dominate positively and benignly, dominate the Apprentice, and certainly that final was a nail biter. From your perspective, did it feel as it looked on telly?
No, it was a lot worse. It was a lot worse in person. The edit in the final was very kind to me because I feel like there were moments where, up until that point, I've been very cool, calm, and collected. I'd maintained my composure. Right. That final boardroom when all was on the line, potentially that could have been my last moment to speak to Lord Sugar. And I just poured my heart out, and it went down like a lead balloon. And I thought, do you know what? This hasn't gone my way. I've lost this in the final stretch. I've lost out, and then that's why I say I wrangled it, because I don't know what it was, but something in him made him go for me.
You know as well as I do, from a boxing perspective, it isn't the one round that wins you the fight, right?
Very true.
It's not, and I think that's, I did say I wouldn't use any boxing metaphors, sorry, but I'm serious about this, is that you've shown championship grit, and that's exactly what you're going to be sharing over your keynote. Listen, it is March the 13th. We are going to be joined by Marnie Swindells, winner of The Apprentice. This is a lady. Glass ceiling? What? In glass ceiling. There is no glass ceiling, and if there is, we're smashing through it. Marnie, what can people learn when they're going to be hearing your keynote? What's some of the key takeaways that they're going to be, if they book in and get themselves a free ticket to the show, the Business Innovation Expo XL, on the 13th of March at 2 p.m. What are they going to learn?
Well, I will be covering my very unique experience as what it's been like to not only be Lord Sugar's business partner, but also be his business partner in my own first year of business. You know, unlike some of the previous Apprentice winners, they went onto the show when they were established. They were 6 years down the line. I did it. I did my first year of business with him as my partner in the public eye. And it has been the steepest learning curve. So if anything, I would just like to impart some of that wisdom.
Got goosebumps. I have goosebumps. People, I'm not making this up. I have goosebumps. I have goosebumps. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because this is a lady who made it happen. She defied all the odds. Everyone told her she couldn't do it. And also, she's from Manchester. Behind that, honestly, I know it sounds like you're in the posh London, but you are originally from Manchester, right?
Yeah, and I credit Manchester, I credit my upbringing to giving me that sort of salt of the earth grit that you need. When I moved to London, I had to, in many ways, take on a new persona at times. I was a barrister for a while, so going to court, I had to show a different side of myself. But no, that fighting instinct that I think a lot of people in the North are built with, I think that shone through in the process.
It's just beautiful. Listen, boys and girls, there's something about a Mancunian lady who has broke through, as we like to refer to it over in Manchester, proper. Boys and girls, on the 13th of March, you can join me, Brad Burton, the UK's #1 motivational business speaker. I'm going to be doing the motivational emceeing from that main stage and opening the show on that first day. And of course, you've got Billy Bingham, who's going to be alongside us, Frank Bruno, who's former WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And of course, when it comes to the heavyweight champion of Great Britain, this lady, Marnie Swindells. Marnie, any final words before we let you go back to your busy world?
One thing I also want to cover on the day that I'll be speaking is to also just reassure people that you don't have to have it all figured out. I think sometimes you come to these expos and you think this is your moment to learn everything, and you need to know it truly is okay to be learning on the job and figuring it out as you go. And I think it'll be a refreshing message for a lot of people who are probably panicking that they're running out of time or that they haven't written the most impeccable business plan yet. Like, it's okay, and I'll be there to reassure them and share what I've learned.
Mind blown. You know something, you are how old? 27, 28?
29, but you're giving me credit.
well, let me tell you something. I did not start my own business till I was 31. 31 years old, 51 tomorrow. Yes, I know, look younger, thank you. But nonetheless, so it just shows you it's never too late to change direction. Boys and girls.
Well, I also think that's what, sorry, Brad. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about business is that there's no rules. You don't have to have done something by a certain age, have followed a certain path. Like, as you said, what sky, what limit? It's boundless. So you can do it at any age. And I think if anything, these get-togethers, these expos, these are the moments where people can really have that realization that there's no bounds.
Mate, I cannot wait to see you on March the 13th at 2 p.m. on the main stage. So there you have it, boys and girls, 13th and 14th of March. All roads lead to the Business Innovation Expo. And as you well know, there's three adjacent shows, which are amazing opportunities as well within each of them. Listen, like everything in life, where you end up is a direct result of your decision. Marnie made a decision to go for it, and I suggest that you do the same. You have a decision to make. I'll see you on the 13th.